Hey dreamers and wanderers, welcome to a new episode of my mini-series about Wrestlemania in Las Vegas. Yes, you heard right. I am in Las Vegas today, right now, and yeah, it's Wrestlemania time as always around this time of a year. And yeah, before I get too much into details, I want to welcome you here on the podcast. I want to say thank you for watching, thank you for following, for liking, and all the things. So this podcast is all about following your dreams, your passions, your what is close to your heart, and turn that into reality. And yeah, as wrestling is part of my life for since my childhood. Like I was 8 years old or so. I'm a huge fan, and since about 10 years I traveling at least once a year for wrestling, for Wrestlemania, through the entire world and mostly the US. But yeah, so this is where I am now. I'm talking about it, share about it, and this feels good. And yeah, so in this episode I will talk about a little bit about day one and also a little bit of Las Vegas as such, because I'm in my free time when it's not about wrestling. I do explore the city a little bit. Yesterday, for example, I was at the Fremont Street Experience in the morning, because I thought that Las Vegas has more than only the strip with all the hotels and casinos and everything. So I thought and I hope that this street experience thing would be a bit different. Unfortunately, maybe I have not seen everything in that area, but in the end it's pretty much the same, but a little bit smaller restaurants, smaller pubs, smaller, shopping wise it's a lot of souvenirs, touristy thingies, not really what I was hoping for, like some nice little shops with individual clothes, or like maybe I was hoping also for kind of spiritual shop thing where you get some crystals or tarot cards or something like that. I haven't found something like that so far. I thought that I would go to downtown Las Vegas, which from the map, what it looks like on the map, it's pretty close to that Fremont area. However, I'm not sure if I make it there today, because I'm ready for a little bit relaxed time and just hanging out and doing nothing really until tonight, Wrestlemania night 2. So yeah, I'm still not sure what to think about Vegas as a town, as a city, as a place where you want to travel to, especially if you're not into gambling or want to see any of the shows, or I don't know. I mean, this weekend is full of wrestling. There are all over the city are wrestling events and really real wrestling shows and fights, but also autographs, signing auctions, things like that. There are all kind of wrestling parties. All my wrestling buddies from Germany, they are all over the place and have something to do. They have such full calendars and events they are heading to all these days. And yeah, I almost feel a little bit bad that I'm not doing even more than only Wrestlemania. But hey, that's what I'm here for, and I don't want to stress myself out. So yeah, for me it's only Wrestlemania today, and for the rest of the day I will see what I'm going to do. probably I will end up somewhere on the strip, and yeah, somewhere on the strip, and have something to eat. I definitely need to eat something because it's like, what time is it? Almost 11, and I haven't eaten anything. So I probably will head into town very soon and see what's going on there. The weather is nice. We almost have 30 degrees Celsius. Definitely warmer than the last 2 days. However, I will prepare myself with a jacket, with a pullover, because in the stadium, and actually today I know how it is pronounced. It's not. I need to prepare, train that a little bit, practice it. Allegiant Stadium. I heard that yesterday from a couple of guys. So I was wondering if it's Allegiant or Allegiant or something completely different, but now I found out that it's actually the Allegiant Stadium. So you Americans and your air conditioning, you kill me, really. I was so fucking sorry. I haven't said that. But I was freezing, and I already had a pullover, a sweater on. I used my jacket as a blanket to cover my legs, that it's at least a little bit warmer, and damn, I still was freezing. And yeah, even my German guys, the big man, they claimed that they were freezing. So that must mean something if a grown-up man complains that it's cold. If a woman like me, who are always freezing and always feel cold, says that, then it's a personal perspective. But if a man who usually is always too warm says that it's cold, then there must be some kind of truth behind there. So, Las Vegas as a city for Wrestlemania. My personal criteria for a good Wrestlemania location would be something like having everything in walking distance, including the stadium. That definitely we could make a check on it. The T-Mobile Arena, where SmackDown and Raw and Stand and Deliver and NXT stuff took place or will take place for Raw on Monday, is pretty close to the stadium, so walking distance check. And walking distance, it's still quite a walk if you really want to walk it. The strip is a long thing, so it is, if you really want to walk, it's a walk. However, it's still reachable and it's still doable, and this is what, in my opinion, is great for a Wrestlemania location. Also, you have buses, and when you see me looking that way, it's because of the view. Actually, I have this huge window and you can see the stadium right there in the back, and a little bit over there is the strip. So my hotel is a little bit off strip, that's why I can't see everything that there, and it's just a nice view. Okay, so there are buses. There is this monorail, which I still haven't found where the stations are, but rumors say there is something like that. There are those trams between the hotels. So for example, this is what I can tell you. So if you see that big golden thing over there, the Mandalay Bay, next to the pyramid, this is the last hotel on the strip, and this is basically the last. Yeah, if you head out to the stadium and have nothing to do, you could go there, spend your time having something to eat, something to drink, spend your time there and wait for the time when you can actually go to the stadium or the arena or whatever. You can switch between the Luxor and the Mandalay Bay, and between those hotels there is a tram, free for transport, and then you can go a little bit further down the strip so that you don't need to walk everything. However, this tram is just going to the Excalibur, which is, yeah, you can maybe see a little bit of it. So when you see the Mandalay Bay, the golden thing over there, the pyramid of the Luxor, and next to it, this kind of white striped building, behind there or next to it, you see a little tiny kind of a tower with a kind of cone thing of roof. I think that's the Excalibur. So this is how far you can go with this free tram, free of charge tram between these 3 hotels, which is not too bad actually. It's quite a bit into the strip again, and I think maybe there are more of this so that you can literally hop between the hotels. There must be the monorail as well somewhere near there. I haven't found it, as I said. So there are ways to get around, whether by walking, by public transport, buses, this trams between the hotels, the monorail, which is all good for, yeah, accessibility, reachability, achievability. That's not fitting into the doesn't matter. Yeah, so walkable and accessible. I think Las Vegas is not a too bad location for Wrestlemania. On the other side of the strip, you will find the convention center where the WWE World and Superstore is located, which is also very, yeah, easy to reach. Whether you, especially when you're somewhere near Caesar's Palace, the Link, Paris, Venetian, then it's still quite a walk. If you roam the strip anyways, then you can walk just a little bit further, and I think it's in total a 40 minutes walk from there. You can walk, you can go by monorail, you can use buses. Again, very nice to use. So, and all the other events are all somewhere around. So it's and even in my hotel, I'm staying in the Palms, as you can see in the neighboring tower. There's I think that's the Fantasy Tower or something. I'm staying in the Ivory Tower. There are 3 of them here for the hotel. And anyways, there are even some events here in the hotel and in the theater. There was something on Friday, for example, with Natalia, for example, from WWE. And yesterday and also today there is Ric Flair expected, and Mojo Rawley, and all those guys. And yeah, so there's something all over the place, which makes Las Vegas actually a pretty cool city for Wrestlemania. If you are into party, then you will find parties all over the place as well. What I definitely miss here in Vegas and also other US cities is something where you can just relax. Like, if you do all the walking alongside the strip, then at some point you might want to sit down and have a break, right? Like watching the fountains at the Bellagio. Why not putting there some benches where you can actually sit and watch? Or at the Venetian, if you look, the gondolas going around, and there is space for some cute little benches where people could sit, can have a break, can watch the stuff and decide, oh, maybe I should do that too. Something like that. Why don't you have that? What's the issue? Why can't you let people just have a break and relax? Read a book, maybe. Probably it's because you won't earn any money if they sit outside on a bench and not inside in the casino. But damn, we need a break from time to time. Yeah, so that's one thing that I miss in general. And yeah, other than that, I mean, if you are not into gambling or something like that and too much of party, then you have all kind of things to do around. Like the Hoover Dam is pretty close. You have the the Valley of Fire, that way around. The Death Valley is somewhere close. The Mojave Desert is close. Yeah, you can book a helicopter trip to the Grand Canyon, for example, or make a complete day trip when you have a car, for example. Yeah, rent a car and go out of the city. This is definitely something that you could do as well here in the area. And of course, anything else that Las Vegas has to offer. Gambling, shows, all kind of shows. Magicians, artists. Dieter Van Thies has an own show, music shows, concerts. I've seen something about Elton John, Backstreet Boys, for example. Why not? Yeah, or just laying down at the pool and relax there. So, all in all, I would say it's a pretty cool location for a Wrestlemania. And with that in mind, I would leave you alone right now, and I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to put some pictures and videos and stuff like that somehow together. Maybe I make something like a highlight episode with only pictures. Not sure how that works with a podcast because there's not real. Maybe I do some voiceover so that, but you have to watch it anyway. So come back to YouTube, watch the videos, and you will see what I mean. And yeah, meanwhile, enjoy your. And again, I have forgotten it. Today is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter and enjoy your Easter Sunday. If you're in town, feel free to let me know, and maybe I'm still looking a place to have lunch for, and maybe if someone is interested, let me know. Maybe we could meet up for lunch or dinner later, before the show, of course. And yeah, then we see us in the next episode. And yeah, happy following your dreams and make them come true. And we see us. Bye bye.